Jules here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. Welcome to my channel. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use some old mail, and recycle it and make this. So this has got a charm on it. It's also got a little flap down here with a grommet. I've got a book page butterfly from a stamp. I quite like stamping my butterflies on book pages. We've got some labels that we've done. Got a little bit of a corner there going on that shouldn't be there. And I covered the inside flap with some book page. We have a journal card. I've covered it with the digital paper from the dandelion. And I've done some stamp. It's got a blue background, and what I did was when I stamped it I made sure that the stamp would show in the envelope of the window of the envelope. And I haven't covered the back yet because I haven't decided whether I'm going to have it a standalone or whether I'm going to actually fix it in. If I fix it in, it will probably be it'll be a side tuck, and then I will need to shorten this to just a little bit, but I've left it long in case I want to leave it as a standalone. And then what I'll do is I'll just put some coffee dyed paper on the back, or just ink over it, just so that you can do a bit of journaling. But normally all that happens is that goes over like that, and that fits in like that. And these are made out of some wire, just stamped images on a bit mixed media, and some glossy accents. So this is what we're going to do. So the envelope that I used, and what I did was I measured, because obviously I don't want the envelope that wide. So what I did was I measured that, so that's 1 inch. So then I just marked 1 inch to there, and an inch to there. And what I'll do is I'll trim this, I'll straighten that off, and then I'll cut that down. And yeah, I do take a little piece off so that I can open it right out. Okay, so that's me. It will now open out. And what I want is I want the flap here. So I'm just going to fold it from the top down. That one went a little bit over. We can have it a little bit over and have a smaller envelope. And once I decide where I want that, and give that a good crease, and then I give it a good crease that way. And then what I do is I cut along this flap. Doesn't matter if you don't get right on there. And then I cut down here just probably about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Fold that down, giving it a good crease, and then turn it over and give it a good crease that way. And then what I'll do is I will stick that down, and all that does is it just strengthens the opening of the envelope, that's all. And the same with this. and I'm making one, so I'm just making sure all these little bits are stuck down. Okay, and then I want the flap that goes up and we'll have that over the window as well. That's fine, I don't mind. And we'll see if we can take that off. Okay, fold that over and fold it in as well. And then that way, if you fold it in as well, you've got a crease going on both sides, and it kind of breaks the fibres down. And it's fine if you've got a little bit showing, it doesn't matter. So that's your envelope there. Now what I want to do is I want to cover this with some digital. And there we are. I'm just rounding the corners on the flap of the envelope, and I'm rounding the corners on the bottom flap as well. And we'll just put them in the bin, because if they end up on the floor I end up walking them through the house because I'm in my bare feet and they stick to my feet. So there we are. So that envelope, my sleeves keep coming down. That envelope is just over 5.5 by 3 3/4, which is a nice size for an envelope. So now to decide what I want to cover it in. And these are all the things that you have to sort of like decide what you want. You could, you know, have it as a standalone in a pocket like that. In fact, that looks quite nice, and I like it up against that. So I think that's where we'll leave that. So what I'm going to do is decide if I want, I'm going to do another digital, and it's also in there. So I think what we'll do is we'll do it for here. It's like choosing anything if you're using your scrapbook papers and things like that. So I know that this is 3 3/4, and there's an inch there and an inch there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a strip of 3 3/4 first. So I've just cut it a little slightly smaller, because what I do like is I like to have a border around, and then what I need to do is I need to decide where I want that, and I think I want to make the wish up there, so I'm going to put that there. I'm just going to fold that there, so I've got a slight border. And then take that off. So it's up to there. So it's up to there, an inch there, and that's, draw there. I'm going to take that to the 1/2 inch, and then to the 1/2 inch there. So that's where I want my, and at the top there. So I'm taking the ruler to there and I'm seeing where it sits on here, so it's just after that little dotted line. I'm going to take it to the 1/2 inch, just after that little dotted line. So we've got 1 inch there, and we've got 1/2 inch there with one, so we want a 1/2 inch, so we want it to there. And then these two sides should just, I'm going to stand up to do this, otherwise you're going to get a headshot. Okay. And just make sure that there is 1 inch and there. And then what I do is, you can either cut it with a cutting board and a knife, and that should just fall out. And that should fit on there perfectly. So what I want to do is I want to round those corners off and rub the pencil mark out. So then what I want to do is I want to put this on here. And I am going to stitch this on, but I'm not going to do it on camera. We'll do it off camera, but I'll stitch it before I go any further, because I want to stitch around the window like I did on the last one. So then what I'm doing is I'm putting this over here. I'm standing up so that I can get my border right. Borders off a little bit, but it's fine. It's just where I've ripped it there, but that's okay. And there we have that. I want to put a piece on here, and I'm going to use this because it's the same as that, but I am going to trim that straight. Yep, that's perfect. And then we'll do the corners. And then that fits perfect. And then you can see it better. Yep. And we'll stick that on. And just pulling it down a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go away and I'm going to stitch around the window. Then I'm going to stitch all the way around and round here. And that bit there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a little tiny bit there. So we'll just do the corners of this. Okay, and I'm just taking it down a little bit, just cutting it with the scissors. If I give a wonky line, that's fine. I'm just inking round it because this will all get stitched on. Yep. That'll do. Here we are. So I will see you in a few seconds. Okay, so that's me back. So I've stitched round it. Didn't stitch round the top. I stitched all round. Stitched round the window, round the little flap, and that one. So now what I need to do is put a hole for a grommet, and I'm just guessing the middle, and put that in there, and we'll put little, oops, and whoops, there we are. And what I want to do now is put that there. So again, I'm putting a split pin in here. So I'm just putting that on some foam, and use the pokey tool. Again, I'm just guessing the middle. But what I want to do is I want to stamp that first. And I'm going to go for peacock feathers, but the distressing because it's a little bit brighter, and we'll do it again. No, whoops, oh dear, I've lost the sticky off me stamp. There we are. That looks better. And put a little bit of the peacock feathers around. Put that on there. And open that up. Something on the back there. Now I used book page on the last one. This is a bit of the daisy one, but that's fine. I'm just using the block to it round. And do the corners. Oops. And we'll just put that on there, that in there, and then use my glue spreader on this side, because if I do it on the other side it'll just buckle up round where I've put that pin in, and then fold that in half like that. Perfect. Got a dragonfly here, so I'm going to use the dragonfly feathers in the oxide. And I think we'll try a little bit of Uncharted Mariner just on the edges. So I've done it with peacock feathers, and I'm just we'll see what that looks like. Perfect. Oops. And then we'll just gently glue it, otherwise I'll pull a wing off it. And I think what we'll do is we'll put that on this side. Now I've got this, and it's one of the foam labels that I did, and I think I'll use that, but what I do want is I want one of these come with the kit. Yep. And again it's got cracked pistachio on it, but it doesn't matter. And I think we'll put that there and that over the top. I'm going to use that glitter glue for this. And I'll just pop that down like that. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on the edge. And when I did this, there is a video for this, when I did this I actually put ink on the stamp. I think it was Ancient Mariner, before I stamped it into the hot foam. So as well as giving it like an embossed, well, a debossed effect, it also coloured it slightly, and then I put a little label on it. So we'll just we want some more bits of labels. Now on the other one I did put the beauty of nature, but I think I'll put an airmail on this one. Just a little bit different. And we'll just put it in a little bit. So I just want to make sure that that's sticking down properly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stamping on there, and again, I'm using the dandelion stamp. I'm not quite sure which. I'm going to use Ancient Mariner. Uncharted Mariner. The Ancient Mariner's a play from my university days. Okay. And I think we'll have this on this side, so we'll perfect. And get a secondary stamp here. And get those on. That's it. And there we are. That'll do. Can't believe I said the Ancient Mariner. And I'm just threading this, and I'm using a lighter green. This is something I picked up in Cyprus, I think at Flying Tiger, the crafty shop. That there used to be, well, I think there still is one here in Scotland. I think there's a few, but the one that we had nearest to us closed down, so now we've got to go to Edinburgh. Whoops. We've got to go to Edinburgh now if we want to. So put that around there. And what do we want on the bottom? Do we want to... Right, I'm not sure about that. Or do I just want to... I mean, your labels you can use as tags as well. So I'm just putting a little hole in there. Got a green one here. It's a diamond shape. I had all shapes and sizes. Just let me put a bit of glue on this. If you've got twine or thread and it starts to open, just put a bit of glue on it and just wrap it, and you find that it sorts itself out. And then I'll just tie a knot. And then we'll just trim that off. Okay, that's maybe still a little bit too, so you could put that round again like that. And I'm just going to pop these away. I'll keep the little bit of string. it is sticking. Right, I'm just press that down, and I've got a little bit of a flap. Stick that there, and put that there. Now it won't go around twice, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this knot if I can. Yep. It's one good thing about having long nails. Helps you with knots. Okay. So we'll put that around there. Bring that up there. And we'll tie it up there. So we'll put that one over that one. And then that one over. And I'm just going to put a knot in the end. Pull that through, and then we'll just fan that out and leave it like a tassel. Because there's 4 strands, but each one of those 4 strands is about 4 strands. Okay, and we'll just, in fact we'll just leave it like that, and then we'll bring in there, and it was this page, wasn't it? Yep, because the green matched that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that in that way. So again, Julie, you silly Billy. You can always cut it. I don't want to. So you just put it round twice. And then put it underneath to tie it. Here we are. And again. So we've got a little bit of card there. And I'm just gluing down the edge, down the 3 edges. And then decide where I want it. And I think I might have it down here, because then there's still space if you want to journal. The one thing about these pages is they're quite light, so with a black pen you can journal and do whatever you want. And then what we would do is we'll make a journal card to go in the top. But I think what I might do is I might put one of these might be too big. Yeah, I thought so. Right, let me see what I've got. That one's got butterflies on it. That actually might go inside, which would be quite pretty, although there's no lilac. There is lilac in the colours, because we've got lilac on one of the, but not on this page. But this is one of the accordion journals, so there we've got that there. And I've got lots of ephemera that needs using up. We've got that's for the coffee. Let me have a look at these. So this is all things that we've been making. That's and these are one of the oh, I made these in Cyprus, and it's an envelope for putting, I made it out of the music sheets, probably more for the bee journal, but obviously I've got more than enough in my bee journal. So what I can do for this is, if I just go round it with some green, and maybe no, don't need to. It doesn't matter what you've got in your journal, but that then will go there. So I hope you get something out of that. It is a fun way of getting rid of your envelopes, using up your mail. So we've got, where is it? We've got that one, it's a standalone, and that one's in there, and it looks quite nice because it matches that page. And then we've got this one as one that will stand, and you can put, you know, you can put that in there if you want. You don't have to have, and on the front we've got our shaker tab that we've already done. So I'm getting pleased with this. It's coming on. I think we need to do a belly band, and I think what we might do is we might do a shaker belly band, especially for this one, because I can use all the glitzy things with it being a dandelion and with it being these colours. You know, it'll look quite nice. So anyway, enough waffle. I will see you in the next video. Bye.